Hello, welcome back to How to RV. I am Jason, and today I want to talk about coffee. Now I know you're saying out there, why coffee? What does that have to do with RVing? Well, there's a couple of good reasons for that. One is I like to start my day with coffee, and if any of you out there are like me, you do as well. I had full intentions at showing you something outside the RV that I had modified that may help you out. And lo and behold, the other day I got a sinus cold and it kind of put a stop to all of that. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about coffee. So yes, I want to know, how do you brew? How do you make your coffee? So there are a few ways that you can make your coffee. So one is with a percolator. That means you have to have a flame up underneath and you have to boil it and it percolates and makes coffee for you. Another method is your conventional coffee pot, right? You have a filter, you put your coffee in it, you let the hot water go through, it fills up in a pot, right? A conventional coffee pot style coffee maker. And then you move to what we have just started to use, which is a Keurig. It's one of those type of coffee makers where you take this little pod. They call them Keurig pods or K-cups or something like that. Anyway, you take that, you put it in the top of this coffee maker, you close the lid, hit a button, it pushes hot water through it and fills up your cup. Now, one thing that I like about it is you can make one cup at a time. So if all you want is just one cup, you want to fill yours up and go, then you can make one cup and go. The other reason is power consumption, so bear with me on this. If you have a conventional coffee pot maker, that's the one with the pot and the filter and all the grounds that go on the top. When you make that pot, it's going to make the coffee into your coffee pot, and then the power's going to stay on to keep it hot. Now, there's a reason I want to bring this to your attention if you're in a case like mine, and that's because we have a 30 amp RV. Now, with that 30 amp RV, that means we only have 30 amps to work with, and when we make coffee, either way, with the Keurig or the regular coffee pot, we're using somewhere around 11 to 12 amps of power. So if you do the math and you have 12 amps being consumed by your coffee maker all the time just to keep it hot, and you want to run your air conditioner and things like that, if you add all that up, you may go over your 30 amps, right? You only have 18 amps left over to use. So in our case, we're going to use the Keurig. We're going to make one cup of coffee, and then when it's done, it's going to turn off and not be heating the water the whole time, using up all that power. So now back to the percolator style, right? We put it on the stove or we put it over a flame of some sort, and we make our coffee that way using no power whatsoever, which is great if you're boondocking, by the way. But the downside of that is you made a whole pot of coffee and you need to keep a flame under it to keep it hot. That means you're either using propane or some other kind of fuel source, and you're using that up instead. So for us, using the Keurig makes sense, right? Less power consumption, one cup at a time, hot coffee all the time. So with that being said, I would like for you to leave down in the comments below on how you brew your coffee. And if you want to leave what kind of coffee you like down there, please do so with possibly a link on how you get to it. I would also like to ask you to pray for me as I get over this sinus cold. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do on the next video. Not to give away any spoilers here, but it may have to do something with boondocking and having a full tank when I left my spot, and when I got there, only having half of a fresh tank left. Just a little tidbit there for you. So until the next time, happy camping, enjoy your coffee, and God bless.